What it is, YouTube? It's your boy Nixie coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. We're gonna go over how to get them young NUDY type vocals here today. I'm really excited. A guy like young NUDY, he has a really different vocal character and everything like that. Something that's really different. So I want to get to it right now. Let's not waste no time. Let's go right now.
Dr. Evil, I'm Dr. Evil, Evil Knievel. Feed your hoe this reefer, it's nothing but some chiefer. Believer, I don't wanna mistreat her, don't leave her. Please, if you leave her, I need her. That she just so fine, yeah, baby, I wanna see ya, I dig it. Man, I know you dig it, digging this pimpin'. Look at where you living, man, just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin', ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins, they look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shoot now. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Bow, 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 bow. Grab a fucking 100 round. Bow, 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 bow. Gotta keep the glisten out. Wow. Gotta keep the...
Okay, so y'all got an understanding of what we're working here with today. Let's listen to what it sound like with and without the young NUDY preset. So if y'all do like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also suggest more artists down below. If you want the preset, check it down below in the description. So let's look at what it sound like with and without.
I need her, that she just so fine, yeah, baby, I wanna see ya, I dig it. Man, I know you dig it, digging this pimpin'. Look at where you living, man, just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin', ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins, they look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting now. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Bow, 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 bow. Grab a fucking 100 round. Bow, 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 bow. Gotta keep the glisten out. Wow. Gotta keep the glisten.
A guy like young NUDY, he has a very distinct type of croaking character inside of his voice. You know, his voice kind of sounds like when you go on your iPhone and you hit that little knob in the corner and it starts vibrating a little bit. His voice has like this natural vibrato type of crackling to it. So on the auto tune, I don't want it to be too audible. I just want to have something that's just gonna enhance that croak a little bit. You know, make that little baby, you know, that little baby toy rattle a little bit. That's what I'm looking for out of the young NUDY vocal, is an auto tune that's rattling a little bit. So actually, the retune is somewhat like, you know, not too crazy, and the humanize is high. I just wanted to make his voice rattle a little bit. You know, I'm not necessarily looking for his voice to, you know, have the sound of auto-tune. Is more like getting it to sound like a maraca a little bit, you know, and shaking.
To see ya, I dig it. Man, I know you dig it, digging this pimpin'. Look at where you living, man, just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin', ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins, they look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting now. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Bow, 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 bow.
So you hear that with young NUDY's vocal, it's not just about the sound. You know, making music is not about the sound. It's also about the texture, how you feel. Does the vocal feel fuzzy? Does it feel dry? Does it feel ashy? Does it feel slick? Does it feel smooth? You feel me? Like baby oil, Johnson & Johnson. It's always a texture that's also associated with vocals. It's not just the sound. The sound is what you hear, but the texture is what you feel. You feel me? Dry, wet, cold, hot. You feel me? That helps you create an emotional response for the listener. A guy like young NUDY, I'm looking for a little bit of that mid-range push. You know, I'm understanding I'm a sniper when I'm an engineer. You know, I'm posted up on that rooftop with that Pro Tools looking for where's the vocal character of, you know, where I'm trying to locate, I'm trying to snipe the character of the artist. So I know he's got like a mid-range croak. So, you know, I'm trying to headshot bullseye, hit the mid-range, you feel me, and just kind of really have that feel dense, you know, and present. So LA3A, I understand that LA3A has transformers inside of it. So I'm going for a little bit of mid-range warmth on a young NUDY vocal right out the gate with the compressor that I'm picking.
Digging this pimpin'. Look at where you living, man, just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin', ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins, they look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting now. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Bow, 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 bow.
So you hear what the compressor is doing? It's kind of putting the vocal, come over here, little nigga. It's putting that vocal in a damn headlock and kind of squeezing it. it's more like a tonal thing, right? Not necessarily taming peaks or whatever foolishness they say, but this is more like kind of squeezing it, kind of like if the vocal was sitting in a room, which is the beat, but then I just made the walls a little bit tighter. I made the vocal a little bit more claustrophobic. It kind of producing, oh, man, it's pimp, man, it's got pimp. That's a part of Young Nudy's tone. So, you know, just knowing that me making the clothes on the person a little bit more tighter, it's changing how they're talking. You know, if you got a tight pair of pants on, you feel like, damn, bro. You feel it makes you a little uncomfortable. That's why I'm looking emotionally from the vocal. So that's how you can use the compression to affect how a nigga is rapping and talking. You feel me? So after that, we have the Chef's omni-channel. Of course, I'm pushing a little bit of saturation. Going after that mid-range again, a guy like Young Nudy, all of that crackling, I want to add a little bit of density to his vocal. It's not really deep, but I'm going to use some saturation to put a couple of honey buns and hot sausage, and I put a little bit of fatness and weight on his vocal. So I'm using the saturation to do that. The even order harmonics in the preamp. And then we have the thump. I hit the thump, which gives even more saturation to the low end. You know, it's kind of like adding a little bit more body to the vocals, right? Body, which is very important. You feel me? For a Young Nudy vocal, because his vocal is really intimate. Like if somebody come up to you a little bit closer, you know, there's certain nuances in character that you can clearly hear about their voice.
Dicking is pimping. Look at where you living, man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimping. Ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins. Hey, look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting now. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Pow, 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 pow. Grab a fucking 100.
So now you hear between those two mid-range EQ moves how I kind of cleared out the cloudiness, right? I'm kind of like a crossing guard, directing traffic and shit like that. I'm telling that low mid, all that stuff that's blocking the way, the true star, which is that croak, I'm telling get the fuck out of the way, right? And now because I did these little two cuts in the mid-range, now you hear that, man. Well, know where you looking, you feel me? So that's important as an engineer. Find the character of the artist's vocal. You feel me? What is the good part about this dish? Is it the seasoning? Is it the French fries? Is it the chicken? You feel me? Is it the plantains? You feel me? Is it the rice? Is it the beans? What is the star of the full course meal, which is the vocal? Pick that and you know, highlight it, you know, highlight it, exaggerate it, you know what I mean? Make it the main star of the show. Okay, after that, we have a de-esser. Our grandma and everybody and our mama and our third cousins, we know what a de-esser do. Don't gotta look at that. Now we have the C4 preset. I kind of tweaked it a little bit here. I changed the need to soft, so I want a softer transition. For the compression, I'm using electro because I do want it to pop a little bit with Young Nudy, but I pulled the range down. Most of the character of Young Nudy's vocal, like how I said I'm a sniper, I located it in the mid-range. So now I'm trying to make sure that I don't over, you know, attenuate the mid-range. I don't want to take my scissors, you know, like if you go to the barber, you tell him to give me a haircut and he cut off too much hair. I don't want to be like that with the vocal. I like where the mid-range is sitting at right now, but I just want to control it a little bit. So I had a slower release time, just hold it a little bit.
Dicking is pimping. Look at where you living, man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimping. Ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins. Hey, look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting now. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Pow, 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 pow. Grab a fucking 100 round. Pow, 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 pow. Gotta keep the glizzy now. Wow. Gotta keep the glizzy now.
Okay, so yeah, you hear what we got going on. After that, we have RVOCs. RVOCs is very important for somebody like Young Nudy who doesn't have low in his vocal. The compression is adding a little bit of that grade A USDA, adding a little bit of that beef to the vocal, all right? So sometimes what you can do, if you have like skinny vocals as an artist, right? What you want to do is you might not want to roll off too much low end. Sometimes even the shape of the way you have your EQ on the bottom is important too, because like just having your shape like this might just be a little too jagged. If you have a skinnier voice, you might want to extend the low end. So now it's letting a lot of that lower stuff kind of come into the vocal. So it feels thick, but still clean at the same time, you know, managing the low end.
Dicking is pimping. Look at where you living, man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimping. Ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins. Hey, look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting now. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Pow, 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 pow. Grab a fucking 100 round. Pow, 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 pow.
It's kind of like we took the vocal and we put him on that bench press. Come on, before the RVOCs, you know, the vocal has like a bird chest, a skinny ass little chest you could poke into. But now you put the RVOCs, now it kind of make the chest swell up a little bit. You feel me? It gives a little bit more oomph. You know, all right. After that, we have the Febreze you know, Lysol, Pine Sol, you know, fresh air. You feel me? We have, you know, the vocal as a situation where we want to put a little bit of air into it. We're gonna give it an inhaler. You feel me? Give it a little bit of oxygen tank so it could just breathe a bit of fresh air in the high end, in the upper mid too. Especially with Young Nudie, high mid presence works really fucking good for a guy like Young Nudie. Between the auto tune and the fresh air, that is like those processes that are not EQ that can help enhance the character of a specific crackling type of snap, crackle, and pop. You know, goldfish type of vocal like this.
Digging this pimpin'. Look at where you living, man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin'. Ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins. Hey, look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting out. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Pow, 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 pow. Grab a fucking 100 round. Pow, 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 pow. Gotta keep the glizzy out. Wow. Gotta keep the glizzy out.
You hear how it just kind of adds a texture. Now it feels like a little bit of vinyl crackling type of low level sound. After that, we got the silk vocal going in. Ooh, I'm enjoying that silk vocal a lot lately, bruh. Fresh air back to back with the silk vocal. That's gems, bro. Cause like it's like you're treating the silk vocal kind of like an elastic band, right? I'm putting all this high end going into the silk vocal, and the silk vocal is a dynamic processor. So it's like an elastic band where it's kind of just being pushed back a little bit, but it's bouncing a little bit forward. So I really like it a lot. I'm not gonna lie, bro. This plugin is fire. It doesn't sound as good as Soothe, but with the way I use it, yeah, that shit be coming out fire low key.
Digging this pimpin'. Look at where you living, man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin'. Ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins. Hey, look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting out. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Pow, 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 pow. Grab a fucking 100 round. Pow, 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 pow. Got it.
So yeah, you know, we kind of got the silk vocal working like a custodian at a high school or some shit like that, mopping the floor. You feel me? Doing all the little cleanup, going under the desk, taking the gum off under the desk. You know, that silk vocal's like a custodian. It's just cleaning up all that little shit. And then after that, you know, a little pieces of shit on the vocal, right? So after that, the REQ, just like how I said, low end management at that point, and just notching out a little bit of that mid range, getting that croak to sit right.
Digging this pimpin'. Look at where you living, man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin'. Ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins. Hey, look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting out. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Pow, 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 pow. Grab a fucking 100 round. Pow, 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 pow. Gotta keep the glizzy out. Wow.
So on that first filter, we wrote off 98, right? But on this second filter, we only rolling off like 98, 99. So you hear what I'm talking about. When you have a rapper like this, where their vocal might lack power like Young Nudie, you gotta let that low end be extended. You feel me? You gotta maybe back off a little bit more of the filters, and maybe you start cutting up a little bit more of the mid-range, or trying to just balance out the mid-range a little bit. Cause most of his vocal candy, most of the sweetness of his vocal is like upper mid-range. You feel me? That's why I did like just a point one of a shelf. And even me cutting this out right here, bruh, cutting this out kind of helps that that vocal character come out a little bit.
Digging this pimpin'. Look at where you living, man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin'. Ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins. Hey, look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting out. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground.
So sometimes you don't need to boost frequencies. Maybe you might want to cut around it. You feel me? And because you cut around it, because now you done took the Windex and you cleaned the window up, now you can see you clearly what the good part of his voice is. You can hear it clearly now, you feel me? Just by wiping off a little bit of that. After that, I used the NLS bus because Young Nudie's vocal is very colorful, right? He has a lot of character. So when I think of a colorful vocal, I think of saturation. So I use the mic emulation. And what this does is add a little bit of that crispy, deep fried wing stop type of texture to the high end. It just makes the high end crumple up a little bit. You feel me? Nice brightness too.
Digging this pimpin'. Look at where you living, man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin'. Ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins. Hey, look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting out. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Pow, 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 pow. Grab a fucking 100 round. Pow, 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 pow. Gotta keep the glizzy out. Wow. Gotta keep the glizzy out.
Yeah, so maybe sometimes when you have a recipe, you try to do the Wingstop recipe at your house, sometimes they don't taste the same because you don't have the same seasoning. So you hear how just me, when I put both of them playing together, when I bypass the NLS, it's kind of like the seasoning was what really was missing from the vocal. So maybe that's what you want to try, adding a little saturation to the end of the chain to give a little bit of that flavor that you might not be getting from your microphone. You know, some people, they have expensive ass microphones, and that microphone got a little bit of Crayola crayon color to it right out the gate as soon as they rapping into it. You feel me? It's already colored and shit like that. So if you don't have an expensive microphone, try to use a little bit of saturation. You see, I used it here with the even order on the Sheps, and I also used it over here on the NLS bus. That's how we got that Young Nudie color. Using a eighth note delay, you could hear a very quick delay he had on his song, and it's more like a hi-fi chorusy type of thing.
Dickin' is pimpin'. Look at where you livin', man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin'. Ball like motherfucker with.
Yeah, and that kind of really helps his vocal too. After that, we have the Manny reverb on large hall, something really basic, using the compressor too to tighten up the reverb overall. We don't want it to be loose booty or nothing like that, so we wrote off some of the high end as well. Overall trying to keep this very warm, trying to keep this reverb very warm. It serves as good contrast for Young Nudie's vocal, like a warm reverb, you know?
Dickin' is pimpin'. Look at where you livin', man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin'. Ball like motherfucker with these.
After that, we have Doubler Stomp. Can't say enough how much I love Doubler Stomp.
Dickin' is pimpin'. Look at where you livin', man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty.
That plugin in itself, bro, you put that on parallel, bro, that will blend the auto-tune. The auto-tune gonna start disappearing, bro. You putting the modulator on the modulator, the auto-tune gonna say peace. Where'd the tune go? The beat go off? You feel me? The tune go off. So after that, we have 1176 right here, and we're mostly using this to generate distortion. As you pay attention on purpose, we got the red light going because we're driving the analog components of the 76, generating more distortion. That more distortion is more of that, Wingstop lemon pepper seasoning that we missing.
Dickin' is pimpin'. Look at where you livin', man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin'. Ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins. Hey, look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting now.
Those two plugins I'm using in to generate distortion, the L1 is generating distortion, and the 1176 I'm using it to distort on purpose, bro, because when you compressing and you pumping and you hitting those compressors hard, they will distort the vocal, but you can use it strategically, bro. You can use it strategically. Let's look at the ad-libs real quick.
Dickin' is pimpin'. Look at where you livin', man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin'. Ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins. Hey, look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting now. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Pow, 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 pow. Grab a fucking 100 round. Pow, 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 pow. Gotta keep the glizzy out. Wow. Gotta keep.
I like Young Nudie's ad-libs because he's like, wow, wow. He understands his vocal character. He playing into his strengths. A little bit of meta-flanger, help apply a little bit of slick, greasy Vaseline to the vocal, and the modulation is gonna make it move from side to side too. Then we doing extreme roll off, and we did a shelf. Rather, I still wanted a little bit of the high end. I just wanted to tone it down a little bit, and then I kind of boosted it back. So I shifted the high end lower, and then I boosted it back with saturation. Then after that, we're using RVOX again to give some body to the ad-libs. And then the silk vocal is kind of like our last stop, where it's kind of like taking off all the harshness.
Dickin' is pimpin'. Look at where you livin', man. Just look the way I'm living. Scotty pimpin'. Ball like motherfucker with these Benjamins. Hey, look how that 30 hanging out. Look how that motherfucker shooting now. Look how that motherfucker shell hit the ground. Pow, 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 pow. Grab a fucking 100 round. Pow, 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 pow. Gotta keep the glizzy out. Wow.
And then after that, we have like a distorted reverb right here. And this is mostly I would say an overdriven reverb using that NLS bus again. But this is kind of like the reverb over here on the lead vocal is clean. So I'm showing you what a clean shirt look like with this reverb. And then on my ad-libs, I'm showing you what a dirty shirt with a lot of mud on it look like, right? So this is like me distorting into that Neve, that Neve saturator going into my reverb. And it just kind of produces a different tone for the vocal. So this is pretty much the end of the Young Nudie vocal tutorial today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, suggest more artists down below. We got a very long list, but we will get to it, okay? After that, if you guys do want to check out the preset, you can get it down below in the pinned description. So I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Appreciate y'all, dog gang. Peace.